I got it right here, so I have it right
Yeah,
here.
that's it. That's everything. And then the next thing is the next. You have the other part of it, yeah, underneath. That's key because they can show what we've paid in under you for each, total. But this is the breakdown. We paid all the way back.
And it's so far off of me. I like Wilfredo is like he's like got you. But that's what you don't want. That's understandable. Good day, Virgin Islanders at home and abroad. It seems like we've been seeing a lot of one another over the past week. And part of the reason for that is we have so many good things to say. But the other part of the reason is we had the storm in this weekend. So things are looking good. We're going to decommission the Emergency Operations Center sometimes today as the storm goes over Puerto Rico and over Hispaniola. Prayers are always with them. Puerto Rico has had a particularly rough time over the last couple of years, and we're praying for the people of Puerto Rico as well as Governor Pierre Luisi. He's a really good friend over there and has been a friend to the Virgin Islands. The people of Hispaniola, we have many people from the Dominican Republic that live on our shores. We're praying for your families over there, your loved ones. Hopefully the storm moves quicker and is off to sea and away from everyone else. But today, first off, I want to send well wishes to Commissioner Bosaidi Bruce. She's dealing with a family emergency, so she's not able to join us. Just know that Commissioner Bruce, I know you're watching. Our prayers are with you, and Godspeed. But between September 1st and today, the Bureau of Internal Revenue and the Department of Finance released some 14,269 income tax checks totaling 31,444,284. More importantly, included in this latest batch of refunds are 2,941 refunds from the 2021 tax year, which were filed by taxpayers earlier this year. This takes care of everyone that has filed up until February of 2022. It also means that we are now paying refunds in the same year that they were filed. We are on track to issue refunds to everyone that filed by the April 15th filing deadline this year. And when I say this year, before the end of this year on December 15th. This means also that we have officially caught up on the payment of tax refunds, a goal that once seemed insurmountable. Now, we celebrate today especially because it takes so long and so much hard work to get the big wins. As most of you know, one of my favorite things to do is cook. And I cook every day, and I ask myself why I love cooking so much. It's because it's a process that you can start and finish and get the benefit really quickly. This wasn't a process that we started yesterday, the year before, or the year before that. This is a mission that was important to us because of some remarks that I read by the great President Obama, where he stressed the importance of making sure that people get tax returns and the importance of giving the earned income tax credit, because families depend on these dollars to do simple things like pay their rent or pay their light bill, or more complex things like send their children to school or buy a new car, or even desperate things like making sure that their loved ones get the health care that they need. But whatever it is, this has been a passion of the entire administration to catch up, because we know that so many in our territory are plagued by poverty and hard times that we have seen over the last 5 years. But what we do know is that this little piece that we've worked meticulously and tirelessly to achieve this goal. Since our fiscal 2020 budget, we have set aside $25 million to be paid out each quarter to address past due income tax refund. And since taking office in January of 2019, believe it or not, we have paid out 110,138 refund checks totaling $288,807,743. Let me say that again, because that's significant. We only have 87,000 people in the territory according to the latest census, but we have actually cut 110,000 checks and paid out almost $289 million in tax refund. Today is also significant because the refunds paid out this past 2 weeks included over $1.3 million funded through the reimbursement of the earned income tax credit by the federal government. What does that mean? Thanks to the efforts of the team in Washington, and most especially to our beloved Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett, who has championed this cause from the very beginning, we have finally, under a united Democratic front and the Biden administration, achieved a permanent reimbursement of the tax credit to the territory. So before now, we would pay up to $26 million of the earned income tax refund, tax credit, that we never got reimbursed from the federal government, which is part of the reason why we fell so far behind. Now, we will get that money reimbursed every year. And as a result of this reimbursement, and with the hard-working and diligent fiscal practices of this administration, not just me, but the people you see up here, Joel Lee of IRB, Jennifer O'Neill, of OMB, and of course Wilfredo Guzman, who's a new face, but works for the Department of Finance and is here as Assistant Commissioner instead of Commissioner Bruce. We will be able to remain current on this. And there's a whole lot of people in a lot of government offices that deserve credit in this. All of the respective agencies have not only cut the checks and put it in order, but also they have collected the money. I want to say special thanks to Lieutenant Governor Tregenza Roach and his entire team at the Lieutenant Governor's Office, which is the second largest collection department in the government. So working together to get old taxes off the street and get the new taxes collected, we have been able to take a fiscal approach that deemed us successful. Now, I myself was shocked when I looked through this because we have paid, believe it or not, tax refunds as far back as 2001. That's 22 years ago. And we continue to pay tax returns from before, as they may have been in audit or they may have been filed late. But regardless, we have been paying them out as quickly as they have been filed. We have put this government in a position to be able to make this announcement today. And while some may seek to downplay the significance of this milestone, we know that the employees of BIR, OMB, and the Department of Finance and the Lieutenant Governor's Tax Division know how difficult it was to get here. And therefore, we offer again our sincere congratulations to those employees that made it possible. And I hear people say that taxes belong to the people. What's a big deal in paying them? Because they were never paid before. And today, this government is not only fiscally solvent in a way that brings in a budget surplus every single year we've been in office, but it's fiscally solvent in a way that it has paid its bills. It's paid over $100 million in back pay to government workers, over $1 billion to vendors and whatnot in the Virgin Islands, and so much more, trying to bring this place into a fiscal solvency. And I must say, with all that we have done, we are still $500 million less in debt today than when we started office. So I would thank, once again, all of our collection departments, and I know I didn't mention any, but specifically these three, and open the floor to any questions that we may have from the public or the press. Doesn't seem like we have any questions from the press. So without further ado, I would like to thank you once again for tuning in. Over here in the big house on St. Thomas, the weather is still a little foggy and a little dark outside. So take care as we go around the island inspecting to make sure that all is well. And know the check is in the mail. Thank you, love you, and have a great afternoon.